Night one, winds kicked in pretty good after the rains. It's still fairly windy, 10 to 15 miles per hour or so. We're going to pack up in a moment and hit the water and continue on with the plan. But first I'll show you my, my setup in the light. I put the Bushcraft USA Outfitters poncho tarp over the canoe. I attached bowline knots to the tabs, the sewn-in tabs, and then ran them out to taut line hitches and to the tent peg. I threw in a Y-stick for a little extra support and tucked myself in there partially under the canoe, partially under the tarp, and the prevailing wind was coming off the water behind the boat, so I managed to have quite a nice night's sleep. On the back side, again, you can see line 550 paracord tied off to tent stakes with a taut line hitch and the bowline knot up at the tab. And I needed 3 to hold that tarp down because the wind's really kicking. So I've got packed, I've got some extra clothing. It's a mix of cold and wet. So I've got some rain gear, I've got some warm weather wool gear. I've got my shit kit, first aid kit that also has some emergency supplies. I have a night kit that's got things like battery chargers, headphones, flashlights, things that I might need at night. This is my fishing kit. It's a creel that I can strap to my waist. It's got all my lures in it. It's got worms, everything for spin fishing for trout. My hammock setup. I've got a War Bonnet Blackbird hammock and the War Bonnet Superfly tarp. The hammock gear underquilt. I've got a 0 degree. Last night I slept with the top quilt, the 0 degree hammock gear top quilt. I've got a buck saw, Adventure Sworn buck saw, Grand's First Hunter's axe, 2 fishing poles in case I snap one, or so I control 2 behind the canoe at the same time, one on each side. Got my life jacket, and the Bushcraft Outfitters USA poncho tarp, the Mad River Explorer Kevlar canoe, and 2 Mad River paddles. That covers it for the big gear, and then I'll do the trip. I'll show you some of the smaller pieces in the kits and what's in my pockets. We registered, signed in. We have 3 days now to play. And we're going to launch at Hoel Pond and make our way up to one of the remote Adirondack trout ponds. Who's got it better than us? Well, about a minute ago we were saying who's got it better than us. We paddled about 50 feet out and a storm blew us right back in. Nice slab of chaga on this yellow birch, golden birch. Don't think I've seen this before. Puffballs growing on a conch mushroom on this black birch. On the other side, here's what that conch probably looks like fresh. And then quite a few horses' hoofs. Extra points for cool stuff you find in the woods. Here's somebody's bush toilet. We're gonna go for it. We made our way across the windswept lake. Just about. A little more ways to go, but we're pretty much out of the major winds. Had I known the prevailing winds would be heading right at us and we'd be paddling into them, maybe we could have started at a different location. But sometimes you've got to go to know. Now we're in it. Got to put a little hustle in to feel like you're really in the wilderness. Nice being out in these smaller ponds. You don't feel the wind as much. My Sherpa. Got a cooler, we got a big food bag. We're living good in the woods. There's some common milkweed. I would have collected this fluff if it was dry, but probably needs another few weeks to really dry out. Plus, it's good to let those seeds spread out. We need some more milkweed for the monarchs. Gotta respect nature. Plenty of alder lining the shoreline. Oh, here's a plant called pilewort. These are fluffy seed heads. You collect those, you could use it as a pillow to sit on. So if you got piles like hemorrhoids, you make a pillow out of pilewort. All right, it finally feels like we're in the Adirondacks, out of Antarctica.
I said it first.
Well, nature don't care. Took the rain gear off and then it started to rain again. We're heading still on Turtle, heading up to the portage route. I'm just checking the map here. I laminated a smaller piece of the map so I don't have to open up and unfold the big map. There's a lot of really beautiful little ponds up here. A lot that are full of trout. Oops. Should do one thing at a time. But this will make the portage go. I'll have a chat for a moment with you. One of the parts of the Get Out in It challenge, I'm supposed to share what I'm wearing. My shelter that I'm wearing. So I've got a Smart Wool short sleeve shirt on, a Smart Wool long sleeve shirt on, and then I've got this plaid outer shirt, which isn't actually wool. I think it's partial. Maybe it's got a little bit of a percentage in it, but mostly it's just for comfort. And I like the colors. I like blending into the landscape a bit. It's traditional up here, and I've had it a long time, and I've had a lot of luck catching fish with it. I've got the Fjall Raven Vita Pro pants on. I gave them some wax. And under that, I've got a base layer, a thin Smart Wool base layer. I'm actually wearing Crocs as my footwear. You know, it's not serious hiking, it's just portaging. And they have a good bit of traction. I've got some wool socks on. And wrapped around the wool socks is a Rocky Gore-Tex sock. So I can step in and out of the boat and not worry about getting my feet wet. So that's my footwear. So that's what I've got on now. Later on, I'll have, I've got a wool sweater and a wool Filson vest. I don't have any weather wool yet, but it's hopefully in the plans. Be nice to have some weather wool on a trip like this. We're looking out for more of that bear's tooth mushroom. We're looking out for lobster mushroom. That'd be nice to yeah, that'd be nice to have a bit of forage to mix with the trout we're gonna catch, right? Yep. Pretty soon the rainbows are gonna come out. The trout are gonna be biting. Oh, there's some witch's butter on that tree on the right. We could collect that. I think we'll give it a pass. bear's tooth. Hericium. This will be tasty. Trail is just gorgeous. All these red maple leaves. Beautiful colors. Ooh, better be careful. Getting a little bumps on the gunnel. Unless that's Ron messing with me back there. Squirrels are busy. Probably red squirrel. I think I hear him squeaking. Oysters. Yeah. Fresh too. More chaga. Lots of chaga. This is an uphill portage. But we're doing this for a reason. Put in a bit of extra work and hopefully you've got the pond all to yourself. Quite a bit of it out here. Or is it? No, it's something else. It doesn't have gills on the bottom. It's not oyster. Keep calm and carry on. We can start to see a shine of blue out there. Quintessential Adirondack trout pond. That's what J. Kelly Nolan would say. If you like trout fishing, if you like the Adirondacks, check his channel out. He's got some great tripping videos. Alright. What do you think, guys? What would you choose? Looking at the Phoebes here. Castmaster. I think I'm going to go with the Phoebe. They look about the right size. Smaller size Phoebe, catch big and small trout. Unbelievable. People come all the way out here and they don't respect mon nature. Well, we'll get it all cleaned up. Even more trash left at the campsite. Beat up chair, old boat with holes in it, some pots and pans. Well, maybe we could carry some of that out and hide the boat back in the woods. Other than that, it's a gorgeous campsite. It's snowing. Pack some of this out. See what else. Garbage. Garbage. Ooh, fry pan. We'll see how heavy the pack is. Maybe I'll get that stuff. Can't pack this out, but I'll hide it deep in the woods. A lot of wintergreen berries. Nature's Tic Tacs. We're all set up. Got the tarp set a little low. The wind's whipping in still. Weather's just been changing all day. Both hammock camping. Both have a War Bonnet Superfly tarp. And I'll show you my setup under here. I've got a 0 degree hammock gear quilt, under quilt, 0 degree top quilt. And this is a War Bonnet Ridge Runner. I think it's an XL. It's got the layer underneath if I wanted to throw a pad inside. I've got the winter cover on, so I unzipped the mosquito netting and I put this winter cover on, which definitely helps to trap some heat and cut some wind. Using a Sea to Summit pillow, a little bit extra comfort. Maybe that's one of my luxury items, bring a pillow. Sure, I could fold up some clothing, but I've got a pillow. And then there's a shelf in here, so I throw all my stuff sacks in there, and I'll throw some night kit in there, like a flashlight, when I'm ready. I also have a bit of bungee. That helps to keep the underquilt evenly spaced. So, you know, I tend to spin a lot sleeping. So that bungee I can just grab and adjust and tug and pull, so I have the quilt just where I need it. But I did set it, so hopefully it'll give me proper coverage down to my toes and up to my neck. And these just clip right on with the carabiner. Really easy. Here's another luxury item. Venison jerky. I've got an Adventure Sworn buck saw. Used it on quite a few trips now. I enjoy using it. I like it. Now we got to go and find some wood to burn. And when you're in the Adirondack Park, you can only use dead down wood. You can't cut standing wood. There's too many cut stumps at the campsites. So it's just a little bit of leave no trace. Takes a little bit more time, but it's worth it so the sites don't look so impaired. Plenty of birch flaking off this paper birch here. Collect some of that. Cutting chunks off for this hard maple. It's got a lot of moss on the outside, but it's feels dry on the inside. There's the first chunk.
Oh, look at that nice birch.
It's going to do well. Again, I think I mentioned it, but only dead and down wood in the Adirondack Park. So it takes a little bit more effort to find pieces. It's better just walk away from camp, go a distance and find what you need. Carry it back in and bucket, split it in camp. Got some oyster, some witch's butter, and the bear's tooth. We just need a trout. I got a very good tripping partner. I was setting up the fishing poles, and he brings over the jerky and the apple pie moonshine. We're gonna fish the magic hour, see if we can put a trout in the pan. There it is. Dinner. Beautiful brookie.
Yes.
Look at that. Beautiful brookie colors. You gonna eat the jowls?
You eat the jowl.
The colors out there, it's like a Durant painting. Hudson River School. Famous era painting landscapes. I don't know if the camera can pick all that up, but there's some gorgeous colors. We got a bunch of bites out there. I had a real nice one. I thought I had hooked good, and then it spit the hook at the last moment before it got in the boat. But we got this one, and it's perfect size for the fry pan. So mission accomplished. Feel good about that. If you never did this before, there's an opening down here, the cloaca. Stick your knife in there and just run it right up, all the way up to the gills. You can rip the gills right out, and then you can pull out everything that's inside. You can see my cut went all the way up. Now I'm going to open it up and pull out whatever's in there. Final step, I just run my thumbnail in there and get out that lateral line along the spinal column. It's like, just push it out, get rid of it, rinse the fish, and it's good to go. A little bit of bacon frying up. I'll put the fish in there with the mushrooms. Got that white eyeball. Bacon's crisping up. Mushrooms look tasty. They're ready. Just waiting on the fish. The jowl popped. Jowl, eyeball. Flesh is about ready to pour right off the bones. 3 different mushrooms cooking in bacon grease. Here's a jowl. Gotta eat the jowl. Oh, smoke in the eyes. All right. Look at what this guy brings camping. What are these, prawns? I thought you know, this is a solo trip, but I got my my Sherpa and my chef. And the woodcutter.
He slices, he dices, cooks and cleans.
Korean short rib. A little salt. A little pepper. Chef Ron. How many people are camping with us?
2.
Ridiculous. Just made some hot water bottles. Hot Nalgene's. I'm gonna stick it in my hammock. Preheat the quilts. Now that's a luxury item. Water. Keep a water in there too, so when I drink at night, I'm not drinking cold water. It's gonna drop potentially to freezing temperatures, so better to have a bottle in the bag. Don't want to drop my core temperature taking a big drink at night. A couple other gadgets that I have on me that I haven't shared with you yet. I keep a little pouch in my cargo pocket on the Shaw Raven pants, and it has a sack farmer. That's got the awl on it for striking a ferro rod. Just a little bit of flagging tape, lighter with duct tape, compass, flashlight, whistle, and that all just goes right in my cargo pocket. So just a couple essentials that stay on me. In addition to that, I've got this Filson vest, and it has a couple little sleeve pockets here, so I keep a fire tube. Great for kicking coals into flame. Mini Bic lighter, and a bit of Carmex. That's a petroleum product too, so it could be good for starting fire if you need it. Oh, cotton bandana. This is a well-known area in the Adirondack region called the St.Regis Canoe Wilderness, and there's some different carry loops you can do through here. But what I like so much about it is that you can just pick and choose. You don't have to do the loop. You can just go wherever you want, pick whatever pond you'd like to stay at. So we do a lot of try to do a lot of different trips, visit a lot of different places. This is one of the first trips I'm returning to an area. This guy's still sleeping, and I'm going to bring him some breakfast. A little wrap and some coffee. Oh, go! Yeah! Lunch. Beautiful.
Low and slow, baby.
There we go. My life jacket. Got a lighter, a whistle, compass, thermometer. It's 50 degrees now. A little light. Just a couple essentials strapped in there. Let's see what else. Oh. Knife. A few fire discs. Not sure I mentioned it, but there were also some glow sticks in the pocket and a bit of cordage so I can clip my bags into the boat. Winds are coming in again, so we're going to take a break from fishing and cook up some rice, just something warm, something to put in the belly. Okay.
So you're right in the line of asking for it.
I'm out of the way. Tightening up the Dutch line, but sliding a bit. Maybe better to put on a trucker's hitch, and instead of the full ridge line, just do a little section to the ring. There's the trucker hitch setup. No slide in there. Couple camp snacks. Persimmons. The GB Hunter's Axe. It's been on a lot of trips. Split a lot of wood. I've been wearing my shelter from night one. There's the poncho with the tabs on the side that turns into a tarp. Bunch of snaps all the way down. Good full coverage. Just letting the wind push me across the pond here. And I've got the wobbler and worm out there. And I'm trying to keep a slow troll, about 1 to 2 miles per hour. I'm trying to keep that rod tip dancing. There's camp. There it is. Gold and silver wobbler. About 18 inches of line. Bait hook, worm, trout. Awesome. One for each of us for dinner. Oh wow. So I'm out there fishing and Ron's doing the camp cookery. Hot water.
Goes either way. We gotta do it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Not too bad, Chef Ron. This forest is a baby compared to what used to be here. Bit of coral mushroom.
Can't get to that though.
Plenty of firewood when you just take a little walk away from camp. A lot of dead down wood here, some mix of soft and hardwood. Some split pine, that should catch easy. A little bit of pine bark, some birch bark. We'll leave that behind. One more night and day left. This camping trip and the Get Out There challenge, Get Out In It challenge. Let's see. A couple of the rules here. Mileage. Maybe it was about 2 miles to get up here. About a mile of paddling, a mile of portaging. Connecting to nature. Yeah, we connected with nature. Well, we're out in it, of course. But we made a meal off the landscape, so I foraged some wild mushrooms, caught a trout, put it together in the cold handle fry pan, and cooked a meal. So, you know, to me, nature is not wallpaper. It's not. It's something that you should be interacting with. That's something that I enjoy doing, being able to recognize what the resources are out here and using them to our advantage. Even just processing the right firewood, figuring out where the dry wood is, and processing it down there and putting it into fire, that sure counts as connecting with nature. Clothing, I talked about my wearable shelter. Pack shakedown, I showed you my pack, my gear. Camp, definitely caught a few clips at camp. You know, I've camped in different ways. Every trip is a little different, but when I'm just looking to get out there for a few days, you know, get off of work and just get out, hammocking has been the way I've been doing it for the last 2 years or so. It's just easy, it's enjoyable, it's a great night's sleep. Going at it solo, well, I lost a point there, but it's good to have a friend with you in camp. Makes everything easier. The magic 8-ball point, mystery awesomeness. Well, that'll be up to the sponsors. We'll see what they like. For me, this is it. Just getting up and out here. This is a choice trip. So it doesn't really need any extra awesomeness. Just being out here is awesome. And then 0 points for not practicing leave no trace or disrespecting Ma Nature. So I don't think we've disrespected Ma Nature. We try to take care of her. I'm packing out some trash. I'm going to pack out as much as I can reasonably carry, and still portage the canoe. Taken that boat and dragged it far up into the woods. So, you know, instead of just simply not disrespecting Ma Nature, I like the idea of stewardship, taking it a step further and leaving places better than you found them. So in addition to trying to clean up the trash, I'll clean up the fire pit, make sure camp just looks good to go when we leave, including leaving a little bit of processed wood behind. So whoever shows up next has a little bit that they need to get a fire going quick. So appreciate the mystery guy who put this challenge together, and of course the sponsors. Thanks very much. I'm going to read those off again. That's Satterfield Knives, Weatherwool, The Hidden Woodsman, Neotrek, Wilderness Innovation, and Stitched Gear. So they all have websites. Just put .com at the end of any of those sponsors, and you'll find them online and get to see some high quality gear. Yeah, I need to change my blade.
All right.
That's fast. Trying to get the most out of my blade. I think I've done that.
You want to sit on? Look, sawdust. Both push and pull.
Night 3. Got some fresh trout to eat. What are these things? Prawns?
Big ass shrimp.
Big ass shrimp.
Big ass shrimp.
Got to eat the rest of the food bag. I'm not going to portage it. At least not going to portage it on our backs. Tasty. Yeah, that's a bit of bacon. Are you greasing your mitts? Oh, God. It is technically bear season up here in the North Woods. So maybe we're baiting them in. I don't know if that's legal. Cut them in half so they fit in the cold handle pan. Just getting the bacon crispy before we throw the trout on. I like it crisp. I like it burnt. I like it so it cracks like dry wood. Right there's a pan full of tasty. I'll just take a moment while everything's cooking to talk a bit about gear. Cold handle pan, I've been using that for years, love it. Great pan for backpacking. Spoon carved by Evan Stinson. He lives in the southern Adirondacks, and I just like that design. I think it's kind of like a lodge pan design. Made out of sycamore, I believe. The Mears pot. Mears pot's just a good size. That's the bigger size. Since there's two of us, I've got the little one too. That's terrific for one. Or if you're just trying to eat a little lighter. The Mora, I like using Moras. They're inexpensive. They work great. I don't have to worry about banging them up. You know, I'll use the sharp end to spark a ferro rod. I don't care. I'll just sharpen it up when I get home. Adventure Sworn buck saw. Just a great tool. Fits right in the Adirondack landscape. Kind of like the traditional woodcraft gear. What else? Stanley pot. I like using the Stanley pot. I haven't really used it much this trip, but it's great for making teas. It's got a strainer on top. It's easy to just stick right in the coals. You don't have to worry about making a rig. The GB, Gransfors Brooks, Hunter's Axe, that's a good one. They're all good. Small forest axe, large forest axe. There's Ron's Adventure Sworn. Is that a classic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a classic too. I like using that, but I just decided to leave it at home on this trip. And you got a buck saw, is that Big Daddy Hoss or something?
No. The guy don't make it anymore. It's Northwest Woodsman's. Yeah. 21-inch.
Nice. What else? Something else I should share? That's about it.
That's about it, yeah.
Yeah. One more utensil. This is Pastor Chris carved spoon. I think it's black birch from our local park, Hacklebarney State Park.
PC!
So
that's my dude.
Yeah, he's just a great guy, good friend. So I like using that. Nicely carved. Just, I guess that's another little luxury item, fun to have on the trail. Oh yeah, that looks so good. With a white eye pop. Just frying in bacon grease right now. There we go, a little PB and some brook trout. I don't know which one's mine, so I'm just going to eat both. That there is the jowl. Gotta eat the jowl. Tastiest bit. Alright, it's night 3. It's getting late. Gonna get to bed, get some sleep. Be ready for some more adventure tomorrow. I got my coffee. about 6:30 in the morning. Thought we'd get up early, make the most of the day. Cheers. The view from camp. Well, I made a big go at this, trying to do some bow drill fire friction. I just couldn't do it. I don't know if there was still moisture in the wood. It's white pine. I've used white pine before. Maybe I wasn't getting enough downward pressure. This is a Boy Scout aluminum tin pan that I ripped in half and made my handhold out of. And then for the bow, you know, I can't cut green wood, so we had this. Found this broken paddle shaft, so I carved my notches in there. That worked out all right. But my dust was too light, then it was too dark around the rim. I was trying to open up the notch. I was trying to go real slow and stop, and real slow and stop, and dry it out, and then go real fast with a lot of pressure to heat it up. But just didn't work out. Kept trying, but no bow drill fire friction on this video. Unfortunately, got to pack out today. Alright, finished packing, enjoying one more cup of coffee, taking it in. Who knows when I'll be back up this way. Probably soon. We got the bag of trash that we've seen around. I'm going to take this out. We're packing out, so I'll get a little bit of a workout in. All right, got this stupid chair somebody carried all the way out here, the trash. It's gonna be a heavy haul, but I can do it. Got to keep Smokey the Bear happy. Make sure the fire's dead. We'll make sure it's charcoal soup down there. All right, we left our wood pile. Turned the fire to mush. It's just the rocks that are steaming. Left a giant pile of logs. That's it. Yeah, it's hard to leave.
Over there, right?
Yep. Taking a breather about the halfway point. Oh, about half mile, another half mile to go. Well,
Brain freeze.
hobble bush is turning. Beech leaves are dropping. Maples, sugar maples. Well, I think we did it. We washed the stink of civilization off us. Just about completed on a 72-hour challenge to get out there, get out in it. You know, I remember the first time I did a trip out here, I thought it was such a big undertaking. You know, there's a lot to figure out. Now that I've done quite a few of them, it just seems so easy. I've got my own boat. You know, it's like now it's like a free vacation every time I put it on top of the car. I just have to pay for gas and some food, fishing license, and now you string 3-4 days together. You've got a good time. Final portage. Best weather on the last day. Well, we're all signed out, packed out, loading up.